Gus Wall and Jude Bolton, Benji Marshall filling in for Wendell Saylor here on Triple M, driving you home on the rush hour. And if the weather is getting a little bit better where we are in Sydney, but apparently the roads are still treacherous at the moment. So headlights on, slow down, be patient, let people in, and please be kind on the roads. But I just sat here the other day when Benji was first with us, Jude, and I went, 2005. Now, I know you won a couple of comps, 2005 and 2012. You obviously won your comp with the Tigers in 2005. So coming up in a moment, I'm going to give you a 2005 quiz. But what I'd like to do now with our listeners is take you back to the memorable days when you guys won the premiership. Let's start off with this moment.
Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside. Richards pursued. He pushes Jensen away. Pat Richards has scored. A magnificent try. Length of the field stuff.
Oh, that is one of the great grand final tries.
How do you feel about that?
You know what that does to me, Gussie?
Yeah.
Just gives me a little tingle on the inside.
I was going to wonder where that tingle was.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it loud, but yeah, you're right there.
How good was it, mate?
Mate, it was, at the time, I didn't really know what had happened. And then when I watched the replay, I was like, I just flicked past that. But Pat Richards did all the work. And the week before, actually, Pat Richards broke his leg and he wasn't going to play. Wow. He had 17 needles during the week and before the game to get to the game.
Wow.
So without him, that doesn't happen, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
His don't
but
argue
I'll take the credit.
He received it as well was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, that was the biggest fend I think I've ever seen on the biggest stage. And without that fend, the pass is irrelevant, you know, but it was still a pretty good pass.
Right, yeah, it was a super pass. Ray Warren, of course, didn't even call it, didn't see it.
Oh, no, he wouldn't have. He was up in the box. He actually told me he didn't see it at the time until he watched the replay. But yeah, who does that in a grand final anyway? Stupid.
Yeah, people like you do those things.
Yeah.
So what was that like, mate, just to win that premiership, especially the West Tigers first time around?
You know what, Gus? Actually, thinking about it, you don't realise how lucky you are, till I retired, now, because they're hard to win. They're hard to come by. And when you're young, I think you don't really appreciate it as much. So now looking back and hearing that again, very thankful that I got that opportunity.
Beautiful, mate. And we loved it as well. And all these West Tigers fans, no doubt, loving it as well. And people fell in love with you and the game off the back of that pass. What about you, Jude? You won a couple of comps. 2005, though, we've got some moments for you to share with us as well.
Yeah, so certainly it resonates with me hearing Benji talk about just then so hard to come by because we went into the grand final in 2005, a huge rivalry with West Coast, and Mickey O'Loughlin, one of the senior players, said to us, guys, I was a young player in the 96 grand final and I just thought I was going to play in grand finals every year, and it was almost 10 years or 9 or 10 years till his next opportunity, and he just said, make the most of it. And we were pretty lucky. It was really close, obviously, the grand finals we played in, but this moment will stick with me forever.
Their team hangs on by 5 points.
Adam Goode's playing the kick behind play on Staker.
The Eagles need a takeaway. The ruckmen both fall over. Jude Bolton a big last quarter. But the Eagles are still a chance. They were. Barry, Staker, Embley, Cousins again. Bolton with him.
Cox throws it onto the left. One last roll of the dice for the Eagles! Leo Barry, you star!
Bob Murray, reincarnate.
The longest premiership drought in football history is over! For the first time in 72 years, the Swans are champions of the AFL.
Yeah, so, I mean, that sort of moment, I mean, it
mate.
just was just pure elation on the MCG in front of, close to 100,000 people. But just like Benji sort of said, it just, the whole journey as well as throughout a season, you go through injuries. You spoke about Pat Richards almost not getting up for the game. He had 17, injections or the like. And I mean, for us as a team, we were even lucky to be there on the back of just some brilliance from Nick Davis in the semi-final. And our season almost came to a grounding halt. But he just turned the game on its head at the SCG. And it was the loudest moment I've ever heard on a football field after this.
Siren could go any second. Swans need a goal. Nick Davis! Nick Davis! I don't believe it! I see it, but I don't believe it! Class with a capital C! 4 goals from Nick Davis!
Wow.
So certainly, it was just obviously got Benji in the studio.
What
Just,
about
I mean, 2005, it sort of, it makes your heart smile, those sort of moments.
Yeah, not a dry eye,
Yeah.
not a
What
dry
about
eye in
Nick
Triple
Davis,
M.
kicking coach at the Roosters.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
Yes.
he's a
Played a
Rooster,
Nines game
played
as
in the
well.
Nines as
Yeah.
well. Exactly. Well, you boys, legends, 2005. No doubt you were drunk for a week. Probably
Month.
together. You probably saw each other in some bar somewhere. Did you?
Yeah.
I reckon I saw
we
Benji.
saw
Benji
him.
was the king of Sapphire in King's Cross
Yeah, I
on
got
stage
given the
there.
keys to Campbelltown, so I was out there for a while.